MeMaw was 80s, mid-80s, and she'd always want to go fishing. And it got to be where she's pretty feeble, and it was kind of tough to take her. So you had to be prepared for whatever happened. And it got to a point where it was a little bit almost irresponsible to take her on the lake, so we didn't anymore. But one of the last trips I do remember, she was still getting around pretty good. She couldn't walk real fast, and we went down to Couches. It'd been a real rainy week. Everything was muddy, but boy, she wanted to go. And she did have one rule on the way out to Couches. You had to go through Wilderness, about 10-15 miles from here, right past Kingtown, if you know the area where we'd access that private land. And we'd pass a lot of cattle ranches. And here's a tip for you, and I've never seen it disproven. We'd take off in that old truck, already have our minnows bought and everything, and if we'd pass a field of cows that were laying down, as bad as she'd love to fish, she said, baby, might as well just turn around and go home. Fish ain't biting. She would not get in that boat if the cows weren't eating. And I've never seen it disproven. I did push her one time, and we went with the cows laying down. Fished for about 5 hours, and where we normally catch about 25, I caught one fish. So I couldn't argue that point anymore. But on this one particular occasion with a really wet week, and this old red dirt in this area gets muddy quick if you're not careful, and you can get stuck. And that was an old red clay road that went down to the lake. But we pulled up to it, and I was going to try to go down it, and decided against it. But boy, she wanted to go fishing. Now, from FM 226, it's about 2 miles in there to the lake on a dirt road. And she wanted to go. And I'm like, oh man, I got my work cut out for me. So we got to walk it. We parked at the highway, and you got all the gear, you know, the minnows, the ice chest with food in it, and tackle and rods and cane poles, the whole nine. Well, I took off walking and love her to death. Of course, she couldn't carry anything. I wouldn't have let her if she could. So she starts walking at 2 miles, and I take off. And I walk pretty fast. Any of those that know me. And I'd hit the boat with a load, come back, get another load, take it down. I passed her 3 times on that 2 mile track, toting everything in there. It was worn smooth out. But we went and we fished, and I was praying they wasn't biting, because that was more taking stuff out. We caught a bucket full. So now it was 4 trips. She'd smile at me every time I'd pass her with a new load, but we went fishing. She was persistent about that fishing. She told me her mama used to say, Ma Duke was her name. She was a quarter Cherokee Indian, white-headed, and they'd fish in the 1900s, be walking back from an old creek, and somebody'd holler from the porch, "Did y'all catch anything?" And Ma Duke's only response was always, "More than we could eat." She'd say it really fast. "More than I could eat." She wasn't going to disclose how many they caught or where they got them from. But another fishing story. Hope y'all have a good weekend. Plan to make some good memories and make a difference this weekend. Cherish every moment. You got to. They're gone before you know it.